Hello, and welcome to Easy English Journeys, the podcast for people who want to improve their English in a relaxed way.
I'm Anna.
And I'm Tom. Today we're taking you on a trip to a very unique country, Australia.
In this episode, we'll speak at a B1, B2 level. That means we'll still use clear English, but with richer vocabulary and longer sentences.
You can listen several times and even shadow us. That means you try to speak at the same time as we speak.
If you have the transcript, you can read and listen together. That's one of the best ways to improve your listening and speaking skills.
Let's start with a simple question. Where is Australia?
Australia is both a country and a continent. It lies in the southern hemisphere, below Asia, and to the southeast of Africa.
It's also a huge island surrounded by water on all sides. The Indian Ocean on one side and the Pacific Ocean on the other.
In terms of size, Australia is the sixth largest country in the world, but the population is relatively small, around 26 million people.
Most Australians live in coastal cities close to the ocean because the central part of the country is very dry, hot, and sparsely populated.
That central region is often called the outback. When people say the outback, they mean those remote, wild areas with very few towns.
Quick check. Is Australia in the northern or southern hemisphere? And do most people live in the center or along the coast?
If you said southern hemisphere and along the coast, you're right.
Now let's talk a bit about the Australian flag and what it represents.
In the top left corner, you can see the Union Jack, the flag of the United Kingdom. This reminds us that Australia was once a British colony.
Below the Union Jack, there is a large white star with 7 points, called the Commonwealth Star. Each point represents the states and territories of Australia.
In the right side of the flag, there is a group of 5 white stars. Together, they form the Southern Cross, a constellation you can see in the southern night sky.
So, in a way, the flag is a mix of history and geography, the connection with Britain, and the country's position in the southern sky.
Of course, many people first think of Australian cities when they hear Australia.
Probably the most famous city is Sydney.
Many visitors mistakenly believe Sydney is the capital, but it's actually not the capital. However, it is the largest and best-known city.
Sydney is located on the east coast and is famous for its beautiful harbor. 2 landmarks are especially iconic.
The first one is the Sydney Opera House, a white building with a very modern design that looks like sails on the water.
The second is the Sydney Harbour Bridge, a huge steel bridge that carries cars, trains, and pedestrians across the harbor.
Sydney is also known for its beaches, like Bondi Beach, where people surf, swim, or simply relax in the sun.
Another major city is Melbourne in the southeast of the country.
Many people call Melbourne the cultural capital of Australia because it has a strong art scene, a lot of live music, excellent coffee, and many festivals.
The city is famous for its laneways, narrow streets covered with street art and full of small cafes and bars.
Melbourne also loves sport. Tennis tournaments, Formula One races, and Australian football are all popular there.
The weather in Melbourne is known for being unpredictable. People often joke that you can experience 4 seasons in one day.
Now let's talk about the actual capital city of Australia, Canberra.
Canberra is in a special area called the Australian Capital Territory, or ACT.
It's a planned city, which means architects carefully designed the layout of the streets, parks, and buildings before the city was built.
It's smaller and quieter than Sydney or Melbourne, but it's home to important government institutions like Parliament House, national museums, and many foreign embassies.
So if you're interested in politics or history, Canberra can be a very interesting place to visit.
One of the reasons people love Australia is its incredible nature.
We already mentioned the outback, those endless open spaces with red soil, very few trees, and a sky that seems huge and full of stars at night.
Driving through the outback, you may travel for hours without seeing another town. It can feel both exciting and a bit scary because it's so remote.
If you explore the outback, you have to be very careful. Take plenty of water and food and make sure someone knows your travel plans.
On the other side of the country, along the northeast coast, there is something completely different, the Great Barrier Reef.
The Great Barrier Reef is the largest coral reef system in the world. It's home to thousands of species of fish, coral, turtles, and other sea life.
Many tourists go there to snorkel or scuba dive. When you snorkel, you swim near the surface with a mask and a tube to breathe, and you can watch the colorful life under the water.
Unfortunately, the reef is under threat because of climate change, pollution, and rising sea temperatures. Some parts of the coral have already died, a process called coral bleaching.
Scientists and environmental groups are trying to protect the reef, but it's a big challenge.
Another famous natural site is Uluru, also known as Ayers Rock.
Uluru is a giant sandstone rock in the middle of the country. It's one of Australia's most recognizable landmarks.
For the local Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities, Uluru is a sacred place. It's deeply connected to their Dreamtime stories, which explain the creation of the land and their spiritual beliefs.
At sunrise and sunset, Uluru seems to change color, from orange to deep red, and sometimes even purple. It's an amazing sight. Visitors are encouraged to respect the cultural importance of Uluru, to follow local rules, and to learn about Aboriginal history and traditions when they visit. Speaking of things that are unique, we have to talk about Australian animals. Let's start with the kangaroo, probably the most famous one.
Kangaroos move by hopping on their strong back legs, and they use their long tails for balance.
Female kangaroos have a pouch where they carry their babies, called joeys. You can sometimes see a little head or foot coming out of the pouch.
The kangaroo is such an important symbol that it appears on the Australian coat of arms and on some coins.
Another favorite is the koala. Koalas are not bears, even though many people call them koala bears.
They are marsupials, just like kangaroos, which means they also have a pouch for their young.
Koalas spend most of their lives in eucalyptus trees, eating the leaves and sleeping for up to 20 hours a day. They look cute, but they can be quite noisy at night. Then there are wombats, strong little animals that dig holes in the ground, and the platypus, one of the strangest animals in the world.
The platypus has a body like an otter, a tail like a beaver, and a bill like a duck. When scientists first saw it, they thought it was a joke.
Of course, Australia also has a reputation for dangerous animals, poisonous snakes, spiders, and even some jellyfish in the ocean.
However, most Australians don't see dangerous animals on a daily basis. If you follow local advice and are a bit careful, the risk is usually quite low.
Now let's talk a little bit about the people and culture of Australia.
The first people to live in Australia were the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. They have been there for tens of thousands of years, possibly more than 60,000.
Their cultures are incredibly rich, with many different languages, art styles, and traditions.
Traditional Aboriginal art often uses dots and symbols to tell stories about the land and the Dreamtime.
Then later, from the late 18th century, people from Britain and other parts of Europe arrived and began to settle there, often with serious and negative impacts on the indigenous peoples.
Today, Australia is a very multicultural country. People have come from Asia, Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, bringing their food, music, and customs.
In cities like Sydney and Melbourne, you can eat almost any kind of international food you can imagine. Italian, Chinese, Indian, Turkish, Japanese, and many more.
Many Australians enjoy a fairly relaxed lifestyle, spending time outdoors, having a barbecue, going to the beach, and watching or playing sport are all very common activities.
Let's also mention Australian English, because it has its own special accent and slang.
Australians usually speak quite fast, and they sometimes shorten words. They create very friendly, informal expressions.
For example, good day means good day or simply hello.
Mate means friend. So if someone says, "Good day, mate," They're just greeting you in a friendly way.
Brekkie means breakfast. You might hear, let's get some brekkie before work.
Barbie means barbecue. For example, we're having a Barbie this weekend.
Uni is short for university, and arvo means afternoon.
Australians love to make words shorter and add an E or E to them. It sounds casual and friendly.
Let's practice a short sentence. Repeat after us if you want.
Anna, "G'day, mate. Want to have a Barbie this arvo?"
If you can say that, you already sound a bit Australian. Finally, many people dream of studying or traveling in Australia. The country has several high-ranking universities and many language schools, especially in cities like Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, and Perth.
Students often go there to improve their English, meet people from the world, and enjoy the climate and nature.